Hey! Welcome to the first episode of the Review Crew, a collaborative effort to make reviews on games. If you'd like to join in, check the comments for a link to our Discord server. If you like any of the reviewers featured in this episode, please check out their channels. Without further ado, here's Doom, 1993.
Are you tired of wholesome experiences with compelling and complex characters? Do you yearn for a more refined example of perambulation through areas that become successively more gruesome after you mosey on? Do you want to meet the wrong end of the afterlife with the loud end of a gun at the hand end of your arm at the short end of your patience to send a face end of a demon to a deep end of a grave? Well, ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes upon our alternative atmospheric actualization of authentic annihilation armed with an absolutely awesome arsenal of artillery! All at least adequate authors agree our answer to an ambiguous, amicable medium average is at an astronomical high in amusement. Doom! It's the grey matter splatter ambassador for amateur massacre of only the highest caliber. We feature weapons or creatures neither you or I could imagine. Give 'em a kiss with a fist, bring the pain more with the chainsaw. A fistful of pistol you could fire here to Bristol. Enemies got some? Get none after the shotgun. Chain gun, plasma gun, rocket launcher, tons of fun. Be Def's key with the BFG. So come on down to 1993, roughly 40 years into the future, and get yourself this blast from the past, from the future!
K.A.I Games is not responsible for any and all lacerations, comas, defecations, and grievances that may come from playing Doom. Do not imitate the images seen on this product.
Doom. Such an influential game that everybody has played at some point. What can I even say about it? Except...
nothing! Absolutely nothing!
because these wonderful people have already talked about it. So instead, I'm gonna pass you guys over to my good old pal, Gonads. Is even how you say it? I don't know. Just roll the clip.
Yo gamers, it's me, Gonad, spelled with the J. Funny joke, eh? Anyways, I'm here today to talk to you about some lame-ass port of Doom that literally nobody cares about. Anyways, you pop this bitch into the system, listen to it, and realize, hey, this is just a bunch of toilet sounds.
Wow! This sucks huge ass!
Ass!
Whoa!
Well, it could have been worse. Yikes. And I guess there's some other stuff for this port, which I don't really care enough about, and I don't really care about Doom all that much to begin with. And yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. God damn. Hey, where the hell am I? It's not too bad. Oh God, I'm in hell. And the music's not that
Doom on the SNES has no right to exist. Every other console port of Doom is on at least a 32-bit system, and there was only one other M-rated SNES game, Mortal Kombat 3. But if you count Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 as a separate game, then technically there's two. And it even comes in a red cartridge. It's also terrible. The screen is very tiny and blurry. You literally can't see very far ahead of you. Enemies in the distance are 3 twitching pixels. No, I'm not lying. And when you're moving, there is no way to tell if an enemy is present if it isn't more than a yard away from you. I could mistake a screenshot from this game as pebbles in mud. It looks that bad. Of course, that's not the only issue. The input delay is unbearable. Controlling Doom Guy is like trying to swim only using your left arm. Annoying, slow, and you'll probably drown. The enemies attack faster than you would expect, making the game more frustrating. You can also use the SNES mouse, but that doesn't really fix any of the previous issues. I guess the only positive aspect of this game is the music. It's leagues better than the 32X port. Even though it's quite impressive how they went out of their way to make a new engine for the SNES and utilize the Super Effects chip, the Super Nintendo was never really meant to play Doom. The only reason Williams ported this game to the SNES because Doom was popular and they could probably make a quick buck. Don't let the unique red cartridge fool you. This game is not worth picking up, unless you're a diehard Doom fan or collecting a complete SNES set. There really isn't that much else to say. SNES Doom is just a bad game, not because of the developer's lack of effort, but because of the Super Nintendo's hardware restrictions.
Hello there, it's me, Fedora. What time is it? Oh, well, let's look at the clock. It's 4 days until Doom Eternal releases. So, yeah. And also Animal Crossing too, but who cares about Animal Crossing? So today I guess I'll be focusing on the port of Doom on the PlayStation 1. Because I mean, honestly, why not? So Doom on the PlayStation 1 is different. I mean, honestly. And not just because the game's tracks are different, like, we're talking about, like, if it sounds different, because MIDIs. Haha. I mean, it plays the same, kinda, since strafing is like playing Serious Sam Advance and any other Game Boy Advance first-person shooter. But the game is different in the sound department, and about those looks, I mean, well, I mean, it hasn't changed, but it's kinda dark in some areas, don't you think? I mean, for God's sakes, turn on the lights. So, you know Doom's soundtrack, right? All that heavy metal-like tracks as you surf through all the waves of enemies blowing their sorry demon asses? Good, because now this time you get to feel the demon's anxiety as you inch closer to them. It's like basically hearing what they're hearing as you... Okay, nope, I fucked it up. It's like basically hearing what they're hearing getting killed by you. So not only does the environment look super dark and makes you feel kinda anxious, but the music kicks it home. And to me, this is super surprising. It's the same goddamn gameplay, but with a different feeling. So now it's like basically taking paint and then just painting it again. And honestly, I prefer this version. While I like thinking about that Doom guy, Doom Slayer, who cares, is this guy who can handle everything till the day he dies. But in the PlayStation 1 version, instead of me feeling this way, it makes me feel desperate, in fact, to get to the end of the level, instead of feeling like I can handle anything to the end of the level with no sweat. And that's what makes the PlayStation 1 version, in my opinion, special.
Doom was ported to so many home consoles, it's insane how many Doom ports existed, but not a lot of them are for handheld. If you were a kid who wanted to play Doom on their home console, you had a lot of options. If you were a handheld gamer, you were out of luck, till 2001. With the release of the insanely impressive Game Boy Advance, you could play Doom on the go, and it was rated T. What a world we live in. So how is this handheld Doom? Well, Doom GBA is based off of the Atari Jaguar port of Doom, just like most ports of Doom that came before it. The most impressive part of Doom GBA is how much content there is. They went all out for this port, including the area that most versions don't care about, the multiplayer. Doom GBA features multiple exclusive multiplayer maps, and that's actually a really cool addition, even if it was pointless. I didn't actually try it out, and I doubt many people actually play a lot of Doom GBA's multiplayer, but I'd love to be proven wrong. But I'm sure that most people did focus and play the single player, because there's quite a bit of single player content in this game. Well, how's game control? Pretty well in my opinion. There wasn't really any wacky combinations that made no sense, it just feels like Doom on your Game Boy Advance, and that is incredibly impressive and should not be overlooked. While Doom GBA has definitely lost relevance considering it's no longer the only version of Doom that can be played on the go without using emulation, the fact that this is one of the first ways you play Doom on the go is impressive. Doom GBA is a fantastic example on how with enough effort, any console is perfect for Doom. Porting games to GBA was such a big thing for a while. I think the closest we'll see is dedication and innovation while porting games, so never a game developer ports a game to the Nintendo Switch. Like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, two of the most impressive Switch ports. Because of course two of the most impressive ports are Doom. How could they not be Doom?
Alright, hot take time. I didn't really enjoy my time with Doom that much. But before you get me wrong, I don't mean I absolutely hated it. I'll be transparent and say I didn't even play that much of the game. Only the first 4 levels of Knee Deep in the Dead. And I had tons of fun for 2 levels. But the last 2 I played were, well, in the first 2 levels they were open, left a lot of room to run around, but in the later levels they were just mazes and corridors. They weren't really fun to navigate through the first time. And the secrets sound nice, but if you didn't already know about them, I'd be hard-pressed to see anybody find them. Especially the ones where you only get one chance to get it. After dying a good bit into a level, I just decided I was done for the day. And then the review deadline started knocking, so I gotta do with what I've got. I'm playing the version featured in Doom 3 BFG Edition in specific, but other than some content differences, it's pretty much the same as the Xbox Live version. It's based on a port featured in the original Xbox version of Doom 3. But as nice as it is to finally have a port that doesn't have unnecessary changes because of John Carmack's insistence on using the Jaguar version as a base for all of the ports, but the port still has some odd issues. Slightly slower music, along with the music plain not sounding that good. I once heard that future ports like the Switch version are based on this and consequently have the same music oddities, but don't take my word on it. Nothing game-breaking and all rather subjective. But really, that's all I can say about Doom. Everything that can be said about it has already been spoken. It's a port, and it works, even if it did crash on me once. If you do play this game, I recommend you play in Ultraviolence or Nightmare rather than Hurt Me Plenty like I did at first.
The Nintendo Switch is such a fantastic piece of hardware, and I want every game ever made on it. Seriously, having a moderately powerful handheld console is so cool, and the games it can run are just mind-blowing. I don't know what kind of witchcraft Nintendo used to get a handheld to run games like The Witcher and Doom, but they did, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. Porting games to the Switch seems to be the hot thing in gaming right now, for better and for worse. Thankfully, we're getting some really high-quality classic titles on the Switch, and being able to play them on the go, combined with usually pretty decent prices, it's no wonder why companies are releasing legacy content on the Switch. And then there's Doom. The big daddy of first-person shooters has made its obligatory console re-release on the Nintendo Switch, and at a price of $5, how could I say no to that? Doom has been ported to hell and back, and if you have a device that plays games, you can probably run Doom on it. Doom on the Switch just makes sense. Doom has had its run on handheld systems before, but the Switch is such a beefy, powerful system, getting a PC-perfect port of Doom to run on it shouldn't be an issue at all. Plus, this port was developed by Nerve, who also ported Doom onto the Xbox Live Arcade, so I assume we're in good hands here. Well, unfortunately, the Switch port doesn't do a whole lot to make it worth buying. Let's break it down. Visually, the game is output into 1080p, but the graphics somehow look washed out, almost like it was just upscaled really poorly. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad. It looks like Doom, and most people probably won't even complain about the visuals. It just hurts because I know this game could look so much better. The music sounds fine, although the quality of the tracks makes it seem like they were compressed. It'll only really bother you if you're listening to the music on its own. And, well, there's plenty of sound effects to go around, and these don't sound super great either. Again, I'm not sure why they sound super low quality and compressed. I don't get it. We're not on the Game Boy Advance, we're on a Switch. Sound and visual issues should not be a problem on a current console port like this. Thankfully, the gameplay isn't that bad. You're able to play it with all the Switch controller styles, including the Joy-Cons on its side. That's neat. Playing Doom with analog sticks just doesn't feel natural to me, though. I know this is more of a personal nitpick than anything else, but using analog sticks to only look left and right just feels unnatural to me, and it did take a while to get used to. However, there is a sensitivity meter which helps this issue slightly. It's still playable and it's still Doom, but you'd expect more from a brand new official conversion. I guess the reason I'm not too upset is because of how cheap it is. This port will only run you $5, and honestly, that's not the worst. You're getting the entire package here, and being able to play it on the go is pretty nice as well. Yeah, it has its flaws, and it could have been way better with more care put into it, but as it stands, the Switch port isn't an awful way to play Doom at all. Just make sure to think about it before buying, especially if you already own other ports of Doom.